Huh? Yo, what's going on, you guys? How are we doing? We doing okay? Cool. So, what have I done? What have I done? Or however you say that. Many things. Did you guys know that I'm doing another series, another podcast on another channel? You should check that out. It's called Intuitive Idiots. I'll see if I can remember to put a link in the description of this video if you want to check it out. I do it with a friend of mine, and all we do is we talk about things and like two idiots, which is very fitting. Besides that, I've been really in my own head about stuff, and I finally I reacquainted myself with the second book, because I came to this realization that I figured out a certain character. I was writing in the Harrius Codex, and I was like, oh my gosh, I figured it out. I know what to do now. And so now I'm just re-looking at the book here, book 2. And I think I rewrote 2 pages already. And I'm just I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I don't think you even know what the hell that fucking means. Book 2 to what? So on this channel there's the Forgotten series, and from that the Harrius Codex was kind of born inside of as well. And I told you that's kind of like my Silmarillion. That's like the origin of everything. Book 1 and book 2 are my Fellowship of the Ring and Two Towers. Like, just it takes place way later, and subsequently it's born from all this stuff, and in a very ethereal way. This is Genesis, and book 1 and book 2 are like the New Testament stuff. That's how it really works. And so I came back to book 2 because I'm filling some stuff in real quick so I don't forget about this character that I wanted to explore. And yes, I know I'm being vague. It's because one day I'll write it and you'll see. And as I was in there, I was already starting to see some similarities that I didn't really think about with what comes up in the Harrius Codex, and with what I'm doing in my life, and how I'm already seeing it mirrored in this second book here that I wrote. In this second book, this was explored on my series on this channel called the Writing Series. Day 1 all the way to day, I don't know, 50 maybe. And I've been noticing things already, like, oh my gosh, this is already kind of matching now. I'm really excited to see what we do with this. And there were some dreams that I had put inside of book 2 that I forgot about. And so it's been kind of cool to re-explore. Oh yeah, I remember that dream now. That was a very interesting dream. October 31st, 2023 is when I began book 2. So a couple years ago. And I kind of shelved it for a while. And it's just been kind of cool to reacquaint myself with it, and with this lore and this story and stuff. And I feel so much work ahead of me. As I always say in all these videos, I'm like, man, there is so much to fucking do. I still got that fucking Harrius Codex I talked about in the last video. It's like, dude, this is already getting to be so much. I just introduced the idea of the Harrius Codex, and now it's like, well, fuck. It's just a lot. It's a massive mythology, man. I don't know. It's so encompassing. And I think you sitting there, you don't have any context to it. Like, maybe a couple of you have a little bit of it, but like, dude, like, you don't understand how fucking massive this shit is. The span of years, the lore that I have to memorize, the fucking stories that all intertwine within each other over thousands of years. And, I think it's probably bigger than Dune. And Dune's fucking massive. It's bigger than, Lord of the Rings and Star Wars. It's huge. It's fucking, like, epic. And I've just tried so fucking hard to get this story out. But I know I'm quietly accepting the fact that I'm just not going to live long enough to do this. It's just, Doesn't seem feasible with how long I have to waste my time at work. Just doesn't seem feasible. I gotta be there for 40 fucking hours. That's a huge waste of my time doing that shit. And I come back here and I just have so little energy, and then when I try to just squeeze out that last bit of it, I get myself fucking sick physically. Because I was looking back at book 2 here and I saw some of the videos and like I made myself fucking ill. I'm just trying to get that damn book out. But it is a very, very good story, and I'm glad I did get it out. But I'm seeing like, holy shit, we could get ourselves violently ill doing this, because you're pushing yourself beyond your mental capabilities. You know, for myself, I have a very physical, strenuous job, and my whole body fucking aches. I woke up this morning, I felt like I only slept for 1 hour. My whole body hurt. I felt sick to my stomach, and which is kind of a normal way for me to wake up feeling. I felt exhausted after sleeping, and I knew, I was like, oh my God, but you gotta get over it. We got work to do. There's no time to sit and fucking rest anymore. We have to go. We got a lot of shit to be done. And I don't really want to like push myself that hard, but I don't have a lot of time as a human being, you know, in terms of our human lifespan. I'm not saying I'm going to die soon. I just mean, what do I got? Another maybe 50, 60 years if I'm lucky? That's not enough time to finish the shit I got to finish. It took me about 13 years to get to where I am now, and I've only scratched the surface. Like, God damn it, that's too much to do. I've kind of, when I work with other guys to kind of help supplement some of those years, but I found that I can't rely on that. It's no one will have the drive that I have. No one will. And I've accepted that. You know, this is my vision, of course. It was in my mind to expand this with others, and we can create a living modern mythology as a people, but it turns out I can only do it as a person. Which sucks, you know. I really wanted this to be something bigger, but I'm going to have to settle for it to be just my mind. And that's how that is, you know. That's just going to be what it is. But the more I move on and the more I push into this mythology and unravel these moving stories and the fucking immense depth in which this all exists, the more I get intimidated by it, of course, but I'm at the same time, I'm astounded. I'm in awe. I'm flabbergasted that there's this immensity that I was able to uncover within myself. The depths of my mind. You know? I did not know it could go this far. You know, this is something that it's really hard to get people to understand when I say, you don't even know who you are. And like, yes, I do. I'm me. And I want to tell them, like, you don't even understand what that means. You go so deep and you explore so much of your own being. You go to the labyrinth of your own fucking mind. And you uncover things that you never would have thought or felt or had expression for, or memories. You know, maybe you've uncovered things that you forgot about. And when you start to lay that all together, and at the very same time you start to laboriously look at life and try to make a mythology of it, and when you try to peel away all the layers of yourself, remember what I told you about coming up to that little I, when you peel away everything that made you and you get to this raw point of your true being, and then you go past that, you know, like it's astounding with who we really are. And it's drastically changed me forever. I will never be the same person again. But there's like this, there's this bitterness where while doing that, I still have to exist inside of this world here. and find ways to function, you know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out kind of mentality. How do I function as a human being inside this world, but also stay true to who I am, and uncovering that person layer by layer, door by door. How do I stay true to that human being that I am, but also, you know, maintain the facade, really, of what this life is? You know how hard it is when you start to see through things? When you see through religion, or when you start to see through politics or opinions or thinking in general. Like when you start to see through that stuff for what it really is, it makes it really hard to pretend. Like, yeah, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's hard. And it gets harder to hear people's opinions about things, you know? When you're doing this kind of stuff, it's just like, I don't want to fucking hear anymore. I'm so tired of it. But you have to find a way to navigate it. It's just a rough storm. It's not like this is something that's a roadblock and you'll never get by it and you're fucked for the rest of your life. Like, no, I know damn well that you just get through it. It's like, you know, being in your vessel in the ocean and here comes a storm. Like, you can survive this if you're smart and with a little bit of luck. It's kind of like that, just finding ways to function, finding how to remain, you know, a friend or a brother, father, or whatever you are, but at the same time being true to who you really are, allowing yourself to participate in the game going on around you, but when you come back to this point of yourself, like it's explored in that damn podcast we did, it's about coming back to that point and still remaining true to that person. You can strip it all away. You know, you put on these clothes, you put on this attire, this outfit of life. I'm going to be this. I'm going to go off and be that. I'm a father. I'm a engineer. I'm a fucking teacher or some shit. Whatever you are in this life, and you go off and do it, but you take those clothes off and you come home and you're like, okay, who am I really though? Am I those things? Or am I more than that? You know? That's what I've been covering, is kind of what I'm doing here. But like I said, for me, it's like I'm mapping it out with my mythology, and it's grown to such depths and such heights that I worry I won't finish it. I really want to. I want to see this completed, but I'm terrified I won't see it completed. Because there's a part of me that wonders if there's an answer at the end of it, or if it's just another waste of time. You know what I mean? Like, is this what I'm doing, this mythology, the Harrius Codex, the Forgotten series, you know, the books that I'm writing, is that a waste of time, in a sense? Like on a grand scale? Great for me, but not really meaningful in any way? You know, there's a lot of people that live their entire lives doing something and we don't even know about it. Does it matter? Is it only for you? Where do they go? When you find out someone's worked their whole life to be this thing, and it meant so much to them, and then the world forgot about them or not even knew they existed, and you come up with that, and you find this person, like, oh my God, they did all this stuff. Does it matter though? They're dead. Did that matter? Did that take them away from here? Did that save them? Did that fix where they're going after? I don't know. You can get very pessimistic when you go down that road, clearly, you know? You know, we want to believe what we do matters and what we do will save us in some way, shape, or form. But we don't know that. We can assume or guess or hope. Faith, right? That's the one for religion. Faith. I don't know if this is it, but I have faith that it will fucking answer the questions I have, or whatever. But you got that quiet voice in the back of your head that's like, yeah, I don't know though. You can't keep ignoring, because that will drive you mad. So there's a you know, like any human being, as I'm laying out, like there's a lot of confliction in me. There's a lot of, I want solid answers, but I will not get them. But there's some part of me that also accepts that and says, that is what that is. You know, like, I'm not gonna have the fucking answer of if this matters or not. I can only continue to do it because I feel like it might. You know, that's all I can do as a human being. I believe this is mattering. I think. And I'm getting all these signs that I believe mean this matters. I can say that all day, but I don't know. There's no such thing as no. It's just assuming, really. So that's where we are. That's the Harius Codex. That's the Forgotten series. That's the story of Eris. You know, Corian and Ephesus. That's all these different stories and what they embody. I really want to believe I know what I'm doing, but I probably don't. It's really what they're about. If anyone ever tells you that they have the answer, be leery of that person. If any organization tells you they have the answer, be leery of that. It's just something you have to be aware of in your life. You goddamn never know. You never know what anything could be. But anyway, I'm going to end that. Just call it from here. I don't know what to do next, actually. I'm sitting here, I'm like, should I continue this book 2 thing? Because I rewrote a couple pages to fix what I wanted to fix, and I'm like, should I keep going, or do I need to go back to the Harius Codex? I don't know. We'll see what happens, but I'll talk to you next time.